Hey John here. So I got this Rad Rover step-through bicycle. It's the wife's. The reason why it looks goofy is because the handlebars are inverted and twisted backwards because she was too small for this bike, and the way it was originally set up with even the neck's flipped around backwards. The neck this way with the handlebars flipped this way. Her arms were falling asleep because it was so high up in the air. So even this, I mean, when I get on this, even this is about level with your arms. So the bike is just a tall bike, and it didn't really fit her. So like I said, I revamped some stuff and moved the headlight from the fender down here just to take a visual effect of the goofy swept back look. But I'm probably gonna have to move that because what I want to do here is make some cup holders for the front here. Now I thought this was for a bread basket or some kind of basket or something, but somebody said it was actually for cup holders, and that gave me an idea because the cup holder here, it's one of these you can push a little button and it goes in and out. You have to have two hands, but right? And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. When I bought it, they're like 15 bucks a piece, but that doesn't accept any cup. It's too small, right? And this, when you extend it, it's about normal for a regular cup holder. So if you have one of those aluminum or metal containers that it just doesn't quite fit, and if you ever try to put actually I think I got one here, like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee in there, whether it's an iced coffee, the plastic ones, or the whatever they're using now, paper, it doesn't work out good. Trust me. If you've never done it, it's going to spill, and then when you go to take the thing out, it's all crushed. So that thing doesn't work out. But she does have a aluminum bottle that fits in here well. But she does like to have a coffee. So you can't bring both with just this, obviously. So that's why I want to make a dual cup holder up here that'll accept kind of anything, really, anything from a beer can to whatever wide container, like a cooler, not a cooler, but a big volume cup, that kind of thing. And I'll just leave that on there, so she'll have three. It's not like she's thirsty, but the one iced coffee that she almost wiped out one time trying to get it out of here, and she goes to lift it out, and the thing kind of crushed, and she got all swervy and lost her drink. So she does want to go for a ride later. So let me see if I can piece something together right quick. I'm gonna have to move this light, put it back down where it was, and I got some ideas on this cup holder that I'm gonna make, and I'm probably gonna make it out of aluminum just because I have a lot of aluminum scrap that I can use. But I'm sure you can make it out of whatever, steel, wood, plastic, or whatever you think. But I'm just going to give some ideas maybe on what this cup holder is going to be. So stand by. Alright, so I'm choosing to use aluminum just because I've got scrap aluminum. I got a couple of these carts that got bent up one way or the other, took the wheels off, and I use it for this and that, little piece of aluminum here and there, but this is going to work out good for what I got in mind. So I'm going to chop this up and show you what I have in mind to accept different size cups. You'll see. But like I said, I'm going to make mine out of aluminum. I don't know, I guess you can make it out of steel if you got some scrap steel, perhaps wood, maybe a combination of wood and steel, but because I got this stuff hanging around, I'm going to use it. So let me get started. Let me chop up some of this stuff and show you what I get. Show you some of the ideas that I have. Alright, so I cut them carts up, and basically I'm going to use this. But now I'm changing my mind. I thought I was going to make a dual cup holder, but it might look a little goofy that wide on the bike, so probably just going to make a single. So I got to make a few more cuts, but basically how this is going to go is so this piece is going to go up there and get mounted on the bike, yeah. And then these are going to be a lot thinner, probably about 4.5 inches, right? So that'll be the base. This will be the next one. There'll be a hole here, a certain diameter, and this will be the top one with a bigger diameter hole, right? So then it'll like funnel down to any size. But this is way too big, so I'm gonna have to cut these down and do something with to get it more narrow. But this is good metal here, what I got out of here. So let me go cut these up. I'm just using a table saw to cut these. A table saw with a carbide tip goes right through it like butter. So I'm going to cut these back, and then how I'm going to do this is just pop rode it for now. I might weld it. I'm not sure yet. Gotta see how it looks. Might weld it for rigidity, but I think pop roding will do for now. But I got to see how that looks first. So let me go get these down at dimensions and figure out how I'm going to do this hole and do all that. So let me cut them up. Bring it back. Yeah, so I'm down to this. I cut. See, this is I think 2 inches. So I cut these at 1.25 inches, just so when I'm stacking them, they're going to be, you know, this tall. And this was out here also. I cut these to like 5 inches this way and 4.25 this way. So like I said, this will be on the bike, and then we're just going to go like this, right? These all need to be cleaned up and rounded and all that. But as you stack them, you know, it'll look like so. This thing, you know, holding them together, riveted on here. I don't think 4 would be too much, or much is it, 4, 5 would might be too much. You can get a coffee. I think I have a coffee cup. Yeah. Like this is a medium coffee cup, so that'd be sitting there. So obviously 4 is going to be plenty, because you're going to need something to get that out of there. So we're not going to use 5. Wasn't sure. And to use 3, I don't know, because some of the other thermoses she have, they're a little bit taller. So I guess you can get away with 3. I might do 4, but just for the mock-up, I'm just going to be pop riveting anyway. So I'll do 3, see what it looks like, and then maybe 4. What's up, mister? Do it that way. What are you looking for? Trouble? Bodie's got a, I don't like to show it because he got wounded. He got wounded. He's healing still. He should be healed by now. He keeps licking it. That's why the t-shirt. But anyways, let me, and then the next move, I gotta make this, the round, you know, circles. And I want to round these off so nobody gets their, you know, hip cut off. And obviously file all these up and get rid of the burrs. So let me work on that, and then maybe pop rivet a few together, start making this thing, because I need to get out of here. So just cut some ears off, made a little rounder. So I use the plasma cutter. If you don't have a plasma cutter, you can. I got jigsaws with carbide teeth, and you know, I just mounted this to here. It's like a makeshift thing. Even with a sawzall, you can map that out. You know, draw your lines. I have these little templates, but you know, get something, whatever circle radius you need, draw a line. I'm sure a sawzall, not a sawzall, but a jigsaw with a carbide tip can do the same thing. Anyways, so I'm cleaning up a little bit. So now we got, wow, it's really bright out there. We could stack these, right? Stack them all up, and I think the thing is over there. Pop rivet them to that, but before we do that, we got to start making our circumference holes. As far as and that, one of them is the bottom, right? And then the next one would be the smallest circumference, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to find whichever one the beer can is, and then the next level, we'll just move it up and get a wider circle until the top, which is the widest circle, right? And then we could fit any jug. So this thing will be set up, obviously the holes will be in there, but what I'm getting at is whatever cup size you're going to use. This is just a medium Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so I'm using that as a template, but she's got some bigger thermoses that are going to stick up higher, but it ain't going to matter, because you know, if you just use 2 of these, this thing would be way unstable. That's why I'm using 4, and it'll still be enough to grab it, this medium, like I said, but most of her cups are big jugs, or bigger canisters out of aluminum. So so I got a couple cups, coolers, and Yetis, whatever you want to call them, you know, water bottles. So I'm thinking whatever the one is the smallest is going to be the first plate. So it's looking like 2 3/4, somewhere in there. That one's a little bigger. This one looks smaller. It is smaller. This one actually looks smaller yet. So I think, of course, it's going to be an inch and a quarter up. So let's see here. Yeah, so I'm thinking 2 and 3/4 for the first hole. That's 2.6, but you want a little bigger. 2.6. These are all the things she might use. And oh, that ain't exactly going to fit. So 2 3/4. It's looking like, no, that's even bigger than 2 3/4. Well, it ain't gonna matter, right? So even if that's what I was getting at. So this is a little bit bigger than this on the bottom, right? So this will fit, of course the top ones will be wider, so it'll fit in, and then the second to the last one, it'll fit into that, right? And then if you got something skinnier, whatever. If you got something fatter, and it won't, it'll fit in these top holes, but what if it doesn't fit through this bottom one, not this one, but the next one up? It'll just sit on top of it, and the others will hold it. That's what I was getting at. So it doesn't matter. So the smallest one I think she's going to be using is this fella, and I'll measure it so this actually sits flat on this piece, and have a little space in there. It'll drive it a little bit. But then the next cup size bigger, which might be this fella, right? Which it is. That is going to go through 2 holes, and maybe on the third one it won't make it through, but it'll sit there. But it'll still have, the 3 1/4 rung. And then the wider you get, you'll see. So I don't have any templates that's 2 3/4, to use, because what you do is just clamp this and put the plasma cutter tip in here. And this is 3 inches. This is a little bigger than 3 inches, but takes in consideration of your nozzle. Then it'll be easier that way, but I don't have one 2 3/4, 2 1/2 like that. But so I'm gonna have to do this the other way, the manual way. So I need 2 3/4. So I need to find the center of this plate here, and that was 4 3/4 out to this edge, right? Which leaves you, what's that, 2 3/8 to the center. And it was 4 1/4 that way, so that was 2 1/8. 2 1/8 this way, so that's the center. Now what was it, 2 3/4? So 2 3/4, you have to divide 2 3/4 is what, 1 3/8. So 1 3/8. How can we do this? 1 inch, 1 inch and 3/8. Go that way. 1 inch and 2, 1 2 3/8. So that's roughly the hole I need, and I'll do the same thing this way. So the 2 1/2, the actual the actual template is going to work out good for that. That's perfect. Excellent. But I can't use the plasma cutter for this because it takes, I don't know what it is, I guess a 1/4 inch into consideration. Your nozzle, where is it? When your nozzle fits in there, it just kind of rides along here. That's a 1/4 inch. Cut it out that way, but I'm just going to have to do this freehand. It's going to be a little bit funky looking. I'll smooth it up with a file or something. And then the next one we're going to do is the next step up is obviously going to be a little wider, the cup. And then the next one, and by the time we get to the top one, it'll be something like this hole here, right? Like a funnel effect. You'll see in a second. Some people are good at freehanding with a plasma cutter. I'm not. I need a template, so this might come out a little bit crooked. But it is what it is. I'm going to start here and see if I can get this sucker the first time. So I only have so many of those. Jigsaw probably would have been better. I'm going to have to take it's not quite a circle, but take a file and clean it up the best I can. I'm going to have to take a file to clean it up the best I can to make it look like a circle. Because if you're not using one of these for a perfect circle, for me it's kind of hard to hold that thing steady. But I think I can clean this up good enough. Let's see what happens. Good thing about aluminum, it's almost like using wood, Just a little file. So we're just going to keep going around this thing off. Yeah, a lot's coming off, so we can probably get this sucker, I feel like a dentist, we could probably get this sucker pretty good round-wise. And just keep working it, right? Alright, so that file was a little bit too sharp. It's not a perfect circle, but it does fit, and that's the cup, right? So it only goes so far, and the water, this thing goes a little further, so that'll probably, obviously it's going to hit before, you know, because the bottom layer is going to be about here, so it'll hit before that, and then the other layers are going to be obviously a little bigger than this hole, right? Everything's obvious, but this is what I was getting at as far as, even if it doesn't reach, which this does look like it'll reach. Let's try the water bottle. The water bottle, let's say the hole big on the next level is bigger, it'll go through that. Yeah, see, it won't fit through here, but it'll sit there, right? And then the next rung here will hold it there, and the next rung, you get what I'm saying. It might be a little bit wobbly, but it ain't gonna come out of there. Yeah, so this time we get to use a perfect circle with a template. Yay! So I just measured everything, lined it up. This should be a no-brainer here. This is the one that's probably going to be really goofed up. Shit! Oh, I nicked it. Of course. Perfect template, and I nicked it. Thought I'd get fancy with a template, and I messed it up. Oh well, it's gonna have to stay that way. Unless I do 3, do it again. Perfect circle. Just clean the burrs up. Minus that. Son of a gun. So you're getting the picture now. Minus my neck there. Screwed that one up that I thought was gonna be a perfect circle. So try to do this one-handed. So this cup will fit in, right? It's just sitting here, so it'll fall over like dominoes. Right, that'll fit in all the way to the bottom. It might do a little bit of play on the top, but something like a cup, this is only going to go so far. You know what I'm saying? It'll, it's like a game of concentration. It'll go to, I guess, there, right? So that alone will hold that cup. So I took care of that nick problem, right? Just made 4 other nicks. And then I'm just going to say, yeah, I meant to do that, because that was bothering me. So I'm not going to do all of them, just the top. So let me clean all this up with a flap wheel or something. Get rid of some of these stuff, because if I am going to weld this, it's got to be shined up. This is all dirty. Alright, so I just took a flap wheel and cleaned everything up and rounded some of the corners down and edges, like just the top edge here. Rounded that down. Left these square because obviously it looks better. And as far as pop riveting, I mean, I could clean this a little more. I could file that down to get rid of some of these marks, but I'm not going to worry about it because I am going to paint this, and you probably won't see that. Who cares if you do? So now I think the best thing to do here is to take this and mop this up on a bike, right? Get the holes wherever I need them, and then I can go and you know, what I'll do is I'll center this pop rivet, right? Go to the next one, pop rivet. I'll do like this. This way I'll pop rivet it here, get the gun in there, it'll be on the top. But if I can't pop rivet, the gun won't fit in between here, you know what I mean? So I have to do one at a time. And then when I get them all riveted to the base after my holes are drilled, then I can flip her over and do some tack welds on the other side, just to be secure. But I have to get the holes in this first, because then from the back side, wherever they're going to poke through, and I'll have to adjust it so hopefully it'll poke through. You know, I didn't even measure that, so let's do that right now. So these 2 holes, I got to get rid of that light, but these 2 holes look like they're about 4 inches apart. Maybe 3 and what the hell am I looking at here? Maybe 3 3/4 it's looking like. So let's see if I'm close. 3 3/4, I never took that into consideration, but let's see. If we do like 2 holes up there, yeah, I can position 2 holes here and then position it where 3 3/4. maybe right there, or I can move it up or down. It doesn't matter, I'll figure that out. Yeah, good thing we mocked this up, so I had to keep playing with it to where the screw holes were going to fall, because they're going to fall in between these plates here. And one's going to be here, which should be fine. Get one in there, or two in there, and two on the top. So I had to keep sliding her up and down. But I think that'll work. Let's go drill some holes. Holes line up. This thing's going to be cool looking. So then, you know, we'll just stack these like so, and that should be good. I got another one to go, but the bolts are holding it on. And that'll be that. It's just short enough so turning the hand, I got these tied back for now, but turning the handlebars, not that anybody turns them that far, they're not going to hit. They're right under the neck. So even if these were flipped around the way they're supposed to be, this is supposed to be the other way around, it's going to clear. Test that out. Yeah, it's going to clear. Whoop, almost hit the camera. Even so, this is obviously going to be taken on and off. This doesn't have to be this high. I could clip it here if I wanted to, and I might do that. I don't know, just clip it again. So I did shorten this piece up, so it's going to sit a little lower here. Yeah. And mark my holes for here. So the two bolts are going to go here, right through here. Or, yeah, this way. And then I'll stack the plates up. So we got a pop rivet in here. These two bolts here, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2, mounted to the bike. The pop rivets that are in place are just going to hold this together when I take it off, so I can weld it up, right? And I'll probably just leave the pop rivets on there. But before I paint this up, and well, before I weld it up and paint it up, I think it came out pretty good. So this is probably what she's going to be using, like a Yeti stainless steel. And that thing goes in, and it fits good. Fits at the top, and it's bottoming out. So that ain't going to go nowhere, right? Then you got like a water bottle. That's going to go 3 down. So that fits pretty good. Doesn't go all the way down here, but it ain't going to. There's no way it's going to come out of there, yeah? And I don't know, this thing, I don't know if she's ever going to use this, but that goes, it doesn't fit through the 3rd hole, but again, that's not going to go anywhere if you decide to use this. This little funky thing is tapered the wrong way, or, you know, it kind of tapers up, but so that ain't going to go nowhere neither if you wanted to use that. And let's see, where'd the coffee cup go? If you wanted to get an iced coffee or a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, that fits good too, right? It doesn't go, you know, a large coffee would be obviously bigger, extra large or whatever. It'll still fit into the top hole, and that ain't going to go nowhere. Even an iced coffee should fit in there pretty good. All right, so there you have it. And what I'm going to do is take, after this is dry, take and emery cloth this so just the aluminum is exposed on the edges here, and maybe the insides too, because I want to, there's a light on a bike that has a similar look. I'll go over there and show you in a second. It has a similar look, and I thought if I strip the paint back off of these edges, it'll look pretty cool, silver and black like the light. Let me go show you. Yeah, see, there's silver and black. I mean, this bike is filthy, you're gonna have to clean it, but these little ridges here, so I thought this rack would look pretty cool with the aluminum shiny metal exposed. Might do the outside and the inside ring, just take some emery cloth and clean it up and take the paint off, and of course wash this bike. Well, it's her bike, but she should wash it, right? Alright, so it's the next day. I wasn't happy with the color of the paint. I mean, not the color, but the sheen, right? This is flat black. This is semi-gloss. It kind of looked goofy, so I am doing what I wanted to do originally. So I sanded this off with some emery cloth, get this all smooth, so the edges are going to be aluminum shiny. And I'll rough this up a little bit, but I'm going to paint this flat black. But got to tell you, putting the tape on, it's almost taken as long to put this, you know, so I can paint this without affecting the edges, because sanding it afterwards is kind of problematic. You're not going to be able to, you know, sand it without, you know, hitting the side or whatever. So, like I said, putting these on is almost as long as it took to build the thing. So I'm just going to keep plugging along here and taping this up. I mean, if you have painter's tape, like for automotive stuff, they might make a thin thing that you could just go around like that, but it would have to be exact diameter, and I don't know, you know, so I'm just doing it this way. That way, what a brand new razor. A little bit wasteful tape, but by the time it's said and done, I think it'll work out a little better, right? So let me finish that up, throw some flat black on here, see what that looks like once it's all dressed up. Be right back. Alright, she's all done. I think it came out pretty good. It looks kind of semi-factory. I don't know. I like the way it looks. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. So this took me like, I don't know, if you had to total things up, 4 hours. This is the next day because I painted it and wanted to get that silver look going, or aluminum look, to match the light there. But so anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time, yeah.